Hello, cousin.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me, Dr. JT.
Is that comfortable for you to say?
No.
I think oftentimes when people hire a family, they're like, oh, that's my brother, that's my sister, that's my mom, whatever. And I have this job, let me just go ahead and put them in the job without actually thinking,
Are they capable?
are they capable? What's their experience? Does it translate? Can they actually do the role?
I feel like you somewhat hesitant to think that maybe I'm not able to do the job. Maybe I'm unable to do something if you talking to me. But baby, I've been out in these streets, okay? I know the real world.
How would you describe us as opposite? Like what things are different about us?
I'm a little OCD. You're kind of just tell me what to do, I'll go with the flow.
Am I really go with the flow?
How do you feel now that the Seven-Figure Educator clients love me more than you?
Welcome back to another episode of the Seven-Figure Educator Podcast. My name is Dr. Fredericka Jordan-Thomas. I'm a former teacher, former school principal, Harvard grad turned full-time entrepreneur. I'm CEO and founder of Seven-Figure Educator, where we help educators just like you monetize their brilliance into a seven-figure education consulting business. During today's episode, okay, I know I'll be saying that it's a special episode, but baby, this episode is one of one, okay? And I say that it's one of one because today's guest is none other than Fredericka Jordan-Thomas, AKA Chief Baby Sister, AKA CBS, AKA COO of Emma and Easter Real Estate Group. And she's here on the podcast to be able to talk through what it's like to work with families. So let's welcome Fredericka to the podcast.
Hello, cousins.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me, Dr. JT.
Is that comfortable for you to say?
No.
Okay. Well, I'm super excited that you're here. And I was like, you know what? Let's go ahead and do the podcast together because I think, I get a lot of questions around like what it's like to work with family. You're the only family that I work with. And so ain't nobody else that would qualify for this conversation. And it's been, how long has it been that we've like formally worked together?
Coming up on a year?
Oh, it is. It's coming up on a year because it would be a year in August, right?
Yeah.
A year in August.
Yeah, it was the summertime when I came on, so I need my trophy, my bonus, and a new company t-shirt.
Okay. I'm sure we can figure out the t-shirt. Okay. So, I think it's helpful to give context. So, obviously we are sisters. We grew up together. How far apart are we in age?
2 years?
We're a little under 2 years. Well, like,
over 2 years?
No, you're under because December, September. So we're like 18-ish months apart, 18, 19 months apart. Maybe a little more than that, give or take a month. And so I think part of, and this sets the stage for like how we work together, because would you define us as being more similar or more opposite?
Work-wise or personality-wise?
Both.
Opposite.
Okay, and
all across the board.
Okay, we're opposite.
All across the board.
All across the board.
Minus the face card. That's about it. That's the only thing we have in common. That's it.
Okay, and so how would you describe us as opposite? Like what things are different about us?
I'm a little OCD. You're kind of just tell me what to do, I'll go with the flow.
Am I really go with the flow?
Give me that, what do you call it? The sheet for the day, your itinerary? No.
I'm like, tell me what to do.
Yeah. I'm like, no, I need to know what's going on. I need to get down deep and dirty. You're more, I'm a people person, but I'm slightly introverted.
Okay.
It's a little overwhelming, especially with you having a large audience sometimes, but you love that. I could do without it. But I love you, cousins. You're more work, I'm more of like work-life balance. Gotta have
I
it.
can have a little balance. Debatable?
Debatable.
Okay.
You're a workaholic.
I wouldn't call myself a workaholic, but I respect your opinion. How else are we? Anything else?
Opposite wise, I just feel like, but I'm your yin to your yang. Okay. So that's what I mean when I say opposite, not in a bad way.
Right.
But we have similarities.
Okay, so what are some of our similarities?
Got to get this money. Being on time. Mm-hmm. Being very professional and presentable. Mm-hmm. And always treating others how you want to be treated.
Good values, shared values. Yes. So I'm curious if you have a similar or different perspective, because I feel like we've kind of like always been a little opposite, like growing up. Mm-hmm. And part of it is, even though like we're not that far apart in age, we grew up in the same house, we have the same last names, we have the same parents. I mean, we kind of grew up separately because we went to different schools. High
schools.
We went to different high schools, and we went to the same middle school, but because we were 3 years apart, like you were in 6th grade when I was in 9th grade.
I wasn't held back. My birthday was late. Throwing that out there.
Clarification, very important clarification. And so, but I say that to say is that like, we didn't go to school together.
Yeah.
And so part of that, I think also kind of plays like we're in different, like we didn't socialize together outside of the house really. I mean, we grew up together, but that's what I'm saying of like how we kind of had different environments and different social circles because we didn't go to the same school. Would you agree with that?
Inside the house, and I was more so outside of the house.
I was outside a little bit.
When you got a car, but
oh yeah, I was up and down the street.
But before car ages, you were inside the house. I was outside the house. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So, did you ever see in a world? Would you ever imagine, like growing up, that we would work together?
Hell no. No.
I have a similar sentiment because I had a rule for a long time that I don't work with family.
I know.
And I said that for a really long time. And then I found myself in a situation where I I needed help. And you were best positioned to help me. And so do you want to tell the people that story of like how it kind of came about of you and I working together? Hey y'all, I want to take a quick moment to pop in. I know the episode's getting really, really juicy, but I could not miss the opportunity to make sure that you know that we are headed to Atlanta October 3rd through 5th for Seven-Figure Educator Live. This is my 3-day live event. It is the only 3-day live event for education consultants who are out here making a big impact and getting a big bank. And even if you feel like your bank ain't that big yet, I want you in the room because that's how your bank gets bigger. Okay, I have curated a very special 3-day agenda that includes powerhouse speakers, 7, 8, 9-figure speakers, intentional networking to find your people, to find your next opportunity. Y'all, we're getting ready to take the city over, and we taking it over at a 5-star property, okay? Meet me in Atlanta, October 3rd through 5th. Grab your ticket by heading to sevenfigureeducator.com. I'll link it in the show notes, and I'll see you there.
Well, my prior job before this one, I was a restaurant manager, and I was looking for more of a stable job, but I was kind of laxed in set in my ways, not really giving it motivation to move on to the next step in life. And then I feel like you mentioned it, and we kept like mentioning, like bringing it up, like what would you think about working with me, or this and that. And I'm like, yeah, like I feel like we could work together. And then you bought your Airbnb on our childhood street, and it was 2 or 3 months you had it, and you let the property manager know that you would be in town this date, and you wanted it to be done, ready, and to be posted on Airbnb. And you got there, and it was a shit show.
It was.
And you gave her a little grace, but then after like day 2, she kept still messing up and you fired her and you was like, yeah, so you need to put your 2 weeks in and we're gonna take this on. You're gonna work for me. And I was like, okay.
Oh, the response that I remember was like, do I need to give 2 weeks or start today?
Oh, yeah. I was like, so start today, like, or give 2 weeks. And I said, how much you pay? But yeah, and we got it done.
We did. We definitely got it done. So you were super clutch, came in right when needed. Well, it did kind of start off, and I think because, you know, the people know you, they know CBS. So I asked the people, I was like, what are some questions that you all want to know about, like, working together with family, how we work together, X, Y, and Z. And how it started was, it started part-time.
Yeah.
And then it became full-time.
Just the Airbnb house in Columbus.
Yeah, just the Airbnb house. And I didn't like that your job was getting in the way of what I needed. So, because I'm like, I need you at the Airbnb to meet the cleaners. And you trying to go to work? I was like, quit that little job. And
I have to pay my bills.
And we will get them paid. And so I was like, I'll pay you so you can still pay your bills. But that's for me of where I wanted to have because I might have said this, which might have been a little direct, where I was like, listen, girl, I will fire you if this don't work out, and I don't want you to be fired and I had no job, but I will fire you. And so that way we don't get to that point of where
it like comes in between it.
It comes like in between the relationship. I was like, let's actually do like a little 90-day trial period. Don't leave your job yet. Let's see how this, goes. And I mean, you did what needed to be done. And so I was like, okay, I feel like this might work. And
I already knew it was gonna work.
You knew it was gonna work?
Yes.
Okay.
I know myself. I know. You tell me something, show me something once. I got it like this, and I'm a hard worker.
Okay.
I may be a little late.
Late with what?
Like showing up, but
you haven't been late.
I know because I'm with you 24/7.
Okay, I was about to say, don't be late.
No.
Okay.
But I'm a hard worker. I'm always come to work and do what needs to be done.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I think. Well, and I think that's where what I was unsure of is because we didn't grow, like this is the most time working together is the most time we've really ever spent together in like most of our lives. Would you agree or disagree?
Yeah, because you started working early.
Right. I mean, I had a job since I was, whatever you could get your little work permit.
I feel like it was 14, the age back in the day.
Yeah, like 14 and a half. Yeah.
And you were more of like a nerd, a very stylish nerd. Let me throw that in there.
Listen, clarify for the people.
I was stealing outfits off the closet when she left to go to school.
Okay, so now you admit that. We'll spin the block after camera because...
That was over 20 years ago. Let's not.
I'm just saying, you've admitted it, but continue.
The present. And I was more of like athlete. School was after sports for me, and me and my friends, and going to the Y, and
kicking it.
Yeah, I was kicking it. I was getting my work done.
Mm-hmm.
But we were just opposites. You were in the books. I was more in the sports, and I feel like once you got older, you were a little bit like, she's like cramping my style.
I was cramping your style?
Yeah.
What you mean?
Like you didn't want to kick it with me no more, unless it was in the house.
Okay, well, let's clarify.
You got your friends. Your like group of friends that were like your friends' friends. Well, I should say when you went to high school.
Okay, because we went to separate high schools.
Yes.
Okay, because I was about to say, wait, are we talking about in our 20s? Because we didn't live in the same city.
No, after like high school.
Okay. You weren't cramping my style though, but I mean,
Oh, I know I wasn't.
Okay, period. Okay, so for me, I wasn't sure of, I didn't know you as I knew you worked, I know you got stuff done, but I was like, I don't know her as an employee. I don't know if she late, I don't know if she on time, I don't know what type of decision she makes. I was like, let's just have a 90-day time, probationary period, so that way we can, and she don't know me as a boss, right? Where like we have the opportunity to be able to see each other in each of those roles to decide if this is something that we want to do. Because the moment that we make that decision and say yes, it's not saying we can't turn back, but if you quit your job, like there's just different implications of being able to turn back. And clearly, it worked out.
Right.
Okay, so let's go to a couple of questions that people had for us. So Jasmine asked, what was the one thing or a few things that let you know that working together would work?
I got that first direct deposit. Besides that, when we had our first disagreement, and probably the next day or a few hours later, it was okay. It was just it didn't, if we had a disagreement about work or I told you this, Erica, no, you didn't. And we were, once work hours was over with, it was so what we eat for dinner? Even if we didn't come to agreement, I was okay, this is gonna be okay.
We can move on, and we can work through conflict. I think for me, I knew this would work when you would get ish done. And
telling you I'm a hard worker.
And I there was a moment where you were because I know one thing about me is my brain processes a lot of things at one time. And if I delegate something, it's still in my brain until I know that it's done. And so there would be something I would delegate, and
you were waiting for the confirmation that it was done?
I think actually it was, I think I might have did it. I just went and did it because I was oh, this is just easier for me to do. It doesn't take that long. And you sent me a text. You were I'm about to go back to my job because you keep doing stuff you said you wanted me to do. So is this my job or not? And I was oh.
You said the Homer Simpson gif going back in the bushes my bad, because I meant it. I meant it.
You were listen, if you assign this to me, it's mine.
You're not no employee, okay? That's what we just discussed on the tour stop. Back up.
So that's how I knew it would work, where I was okay, she'll check me when I need to be checked. Okay. Dr. Keena asked, how do you establish boundaries and what makes the dynamic work? So what's a boundary that you feel we have that allows for this to work? I have one.
I know you have a lot. What's yours?
So, so we kind of didn't frame up your role. So you support with the real estate business, and then you also support in the EJT education group business. Mm-hmm. And so one of my boundaries was I could not directly manage you in the business, meaning you couldn't report to me. You had to report to somebody else. Yes, for EJT, and I had to stay out of it. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be in the Slack channel. Don't come and ask me if she's sick online. Mm-hmm. Literally treat her as if she is. Would you ask me if, this person is online, or you're just asking me because we have the same last name, she's my sister? Mm-mm. Mm-hmm. I want to stay out of it. That is your business. And if you need something from her, you need to ask her directly. Don't ask me. So for me, that's one of my boundaries, where I stay out of that. Mm-hmm. And to even where it's I don't even want to know unless it's mission critical, there's a fire and I need help putting out the fire and everybody else is unavailable. That's one of my boundaries.
Shout out to my boss, Latrice. That's her. Only boundary I can think of off the top of my head is business, even sister-wise. Freddie, Jordan, don't need to know nothing about work or what we got going on.
And for the people.
That's your mom, that's my mom, that's all she need to know. Don't be asking questions about Erica. Don't be asking Erica questions about me being nosy. Just tell her, you gotta ask Erica. That's what I tell her.
So to clarify for the people, who is Freddie Jordan?
I get so much pushback from her. It's crazy.
Who is she?
Oh, our mom. Dr. Freddie Jordan, by the way.
So you're saying that a boundary is if she goes to you, because obviously she knows we work together, you work for me. So if she goes to you asking a question about me.
I tell her, well, you need to ask Erica. I don't know, even though I know the answer.
Yeah, and same thing with me. I have the same boundary. Well, she'll come to me. She's like, so is Fredericka supposed to be out of town? What day she come back? I'm like, you need to talk to Fredericka. Like, that is...
Maybe I may not be out of town, but might be down the street. I don't know. But that's none of her business.
So I think we both have that shared boundary. That's good. Okay. Someone else asks, I think this is a good question, which I think relates to the boundary conversation. Someone else, how do you keep others from thinking the expectations are different for your sister? Which I think part of it is if I stay out of it.
Yeah, you're not my boss.
I'm not your boss. So I'm like, And also part of it too is like, you know, I don't want people to treat you differently because you're my sister. And part of it too is this is where, you know, even when I introduce you to other people, I introduce you by your name. I don't introduce you by a nickname. I don't even introduce you as CBS because I'm like, I don't be introducing Latrice as, you know, some nickname. Like I introduce her as Latrice, right? So I think that's a part of, you know, how to be able to create that culture and environment. And, you know, people still come up to you because they see you, you know, on my social media, like CBS, but that's not how I would formally introduce you in a professional setting.
Yeah.
So yeah, any thoughts you had there of like how to keep others from thinking the expectations are different from you? Hey there, I know I'm jumping in at a really juicy part of the episode, but I wanted to make sure you knew about a super special opportunity that me and my team have available. So imagine if you had a 90-day plan that outlines every single step you need to take every single week in order to generate at least 10K in your business. And that's exactly what me and my team do during our 7-Figure Strategic Planning Intensive. It is a live 6-hour workshop where we walk you through building your 90-day strategic plan to make more money in your business. Now, you have the opportunity to join us at our next intensive. And in order to do so, just click the link in the show notes to book a call with my team so we can tell you all about it. All right, we'll jump back into the episode and let's get back to this good fire content.
No, I just complain about you to them just like, no, I'm just kidding. Okay. No, I treat everybody the same and you treat me the same way you treat all your other employees, so I don't feel like that's an issue in the workplace.
Okay, so what, I think one of the things that I think is an advantage of our sister dynamic who happens to work together. I mean, you have no problem telling me about myself, clearly.
No.
And so what would you say would be...
I try not to in front of people, though.
You're so polite. What would be... Are there any pet peeves that you have in our relationship? Take your time.
How many can I give?
We ain't got all day.
You sometimes like to hover. By hover, I mean you'll send multiple texts about one thing you want done when, like, I'm in the process of it getting done just because just like you have multiple things going on in your head, I'm doing multiple things at one time. So it's going to get done, but you want to see me or know physically that I'm getting it done right in front of you. When it's like, I'm just over here doing multiple things, but it's getting done. But just give me like 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. You're very forgetful. And you be like, I didn't say that. I didn't say I was going to do that. You literally told me that.
Because I be thinking about a lot of things.
Then why do you say, I don't remember saying that? Like, that's an excuse.
I literally don't.
But then you want to argue me when I'm like, Erica, that's what you told me. I don't remember that.
I'm just saying I don't remember. Then I'm like, okay, I probably did.
Now you do. Before it was like you were arguing me down. But I'm just like, okay, you did, boss.
Okay, so that's been one of our growth things in our relationship where we've had to talk through it and you learn that I process so many things that oftentimes, because I compartmentalize in order to manage all the information, I be forgetting stuff. I'd be like, I said that? Or like, did I do that? Did I not do that? Because I move on so quickly. I'm open to the feedback if I forgot. And I'll be like, oh, okay, I did already say that. And now, you know, that's just how I operate. That's how I move.
Yeah.
I think one of the things, I wouldn't call it a pet peeve, but one of the things that I am thoughtful of is there is a way that you work. And I respect the way that you work. I don't have an opinion on the way that you work.
How do I work?
You like to focus and batch everything at one time.
Yes, get it done.
And I ain't got no opinion around that.
Uh-huh.
And we just have different ways that we structure our day. And I'm not going to force the way that I structure my day on you.
Thank you.
And I let you do your thing.
Mm-hmm.
And because in my head, as someone who moves very quickly, because I'm like, my pace is just, I be pacing.
My pace be pacing?
I didn't say it wasn't.
Okay.
Part of that is recognizing that your pace might be late at night, which that's your business.
Mm-hmm.
That's your business, right? And I think some of that is when we're like, when you're in Atlanta and we're living in the same house,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's part of the just like the boundary of how she works is how she works, how I work is how I work. Because I like to go to the co-working space and work for 2 or 3 hours. And you're like, I don't want to do that. I'm like, okay, you can do your thing. And I might be asleep and you at work and getting things done. And that's your business, right? So I think that's a part of just like being able to learn each other and how we, support each other. Someone asked so let's kind of pivot to the real estate business.
Mm-hmm.
Of what would you say would be some of this? So just to set context, so I have 5 properties. 2 of them are Airbnbs, and you help manage the Airbnbs. So talk to folks a little bit around what your role is with helping support the real estate business.
I oversee the Airbnbs. That includes the apps. Anything guests have any issues with or questions about, they come directly to me. I deal with the guests. I deal with the cleaners. Anything that goes wrong with the houses, I set that up. Make sure the bills are paid on time. I deal with giving the bookkeeping to the accountant, the financial side. Well, not the financial side, but the
like pulling the
paper
statements.
trail,
Yeah, pulling the
side.
statements for the bookkeeper.
Yeah, and once Dr. Jordan, our mother, her house gets renovation going on that, I'll be dealing with the contractor. So basically getting to the point where literally the only thing you have to do is maybe slide your card and I'll take care of the rest,
Well, and I think this is an aspect of like when people ask advice for working with family, I think this is one of the things that's really important is the things that you're doing in the business. Like you were a restaurant manager before this, right? So like there are lots of skills that you've built in that role of a restaurant manager, so managing the operations for a restaurant. And there were many times in that restaurant where you're the only person there. So you are literally like phones, orders, windows, cooking, all of that. Like there's certain skill sets that you've built that actually translate really well into this role of managing the Airbnbs. I think oftentimes when people hire a family, they're like, oh, that's my brother, that's my sister, that's my mom, whatever. And I have this job, let me just go ahead and put them in the job without actually thinking,
Are they capable?
Are they capable? What's their experience? Does it translate? Can they actually do the role? And I mean, I was actually, not surprised, but like I realized like, oh, she's actually really good at that. But then I thought about it, I was like, it makes sense. Like with the customer service, like I remember I had you like write the messages first before you sent them to the people on the Airbnb because I was like, let me see what she gonna say. Like, so I ain't know. And then you wrote it. I was like, oh, she out here with the customer service. And then I was like, she did like manage a whole restaurant. So like, it makes sense.
Just told you that like I feel like you are somewhat hesitant to think that maybe I'm not able to do the job or maybe I'm unable to do something if you task it to me. But baby, I've been out in these streets, okay? I know the real world.
Well, part of it's like, I don't know, and I don't assume.
I know.
And like, I don't assume just because, of course, my sister's amazing at everything, but I just don't assume because you're my sister that you're going to knock it out of the park with everything, or you know how to do everything. So I'm like, script the message first. Let me see it. Because that's what I would do with anybody else on my team. Get feedback. And I was like, oh, not only did she out here customer servicing and like, she out here with my pleasure. I'm like, okay. And then even when I thought about, because there was something that happened at the Atlanta house, and
Atlanta or DC?
No, it was the Atlanta house. There was I can't remember what it was, but it was something where you knew immediately what to do, and it was like, to me, it was like a building service thing of like,
oh, the Wi-Fi.
No, it wasn't. I can't remember, but like in that moment, I realized, I was like, oh, as a restaurant manager, like a part of her job was actually maintaining the building and the cleanliness of the building. So there's this like knowledge that you have around like when it comes to hospitality of like managing cleaners. Like there's actually an experience you had at the restaurant where like you had to meet certain cleanliness standards at a restaurant in order to actually like have a permit and be open. And like there's certain things around building structure that you understand because you managed a restaurant that was in a building, and if something broke in the building, you were responsible for it, where it's like, baby, I don't be knowing none of that. And so I think that's just an example to when people are asking like, well, what advice would you have for working with family? I think that's one of my pieces of advice of like, do you actually have evidence that they can do the role well, given their previous experience? Because if there's no evidence, if they've never done anything similar to this before, if I wouldn't consider you as a stranger, why would I consider you just because you family, right? What advice would you give to folks who might be thinking about working with family?
I feel like you have to already have like a good foundation relationship and be comfortable and trusting of that person and have good communication, or at least slightly good communication, because you can always work on your communication. And actually listening, and at the end of the day gotta end. So outside of work, you gotta understand, we're not at work. You my sister, but at work, I'm not your sister. You're my boss, so.
And I think that's how I knew this would work. Because I was actually talking to one of my mentors about this when I was thinking about us working together and like whether or not I should bring you on full time. I was like,
what'd she say?
I was just like, I feel like, because I said for so long, I did not want to work with family. I was like, what's my worst case scenario? My worst case scenario is like, she mess up my business and it's mess up our relationship. Like that's the worst case scenario. And she was like, well, tell me about the experience. And she was like, there's nothing that's happened that sounds like she would either feel entitled, take advantage of something, like if from a like integrity standpoint, like, you don't sound like she's gonna be stealing from your business. She thinks that just because she's your sister, she's obligated to certain things. And I was like, no, you're right. Like she deeply respects who I am as not just her sister, but as a person and as a business, that she would never want to see me like take a L. And so like, I feel like that's a part of the foundation of our relationship is like, we genuinely respect each other. And even though I'm quote unquote your boss, like, and you happen to be my sister, there's a part of like, you want to see me win, which is why there's a level of mutual respect and professionalism in our relationship that makes this work. Any other things that come to mind from like the real estate business side or how we work together that you wanted to share with folks?
I would just like to say I'm grateful for the opportunity, and I appreciate you and tell you thank you every day. And that I feel like not working with family gets a bad rap. It's okay. I mean, it has its ups and downs, but you can make it work.
And I think we do good with work. I think the big thing is working through conflict. I feel like we do a good job of working through conflict. Would you like to add more?
You just be like, okay. Okay.
Because baby, I'm gonna let stuff go, okay?
I'll let stuff go.
You do, but I'm saying, I think part of this is we have similar values and we're not the same person.
Yeah, we're completely different.
So that when I just be like, okay, I'll be like, I'm not gonna spend time trying to change you, just as like I wouldn't want you to spend time trying to change me. And I respect you for who you are. So I just like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I just, we move forward.
I walk away and be like, but you did say that. But I let it go.
And I let it go too. All right. I appreciate you for making time to being here on the podcast. I appreciate the ways in which you support the business.
Can I ask a question?
Of course. Sure. What question would you like to
How
ask?
has your experience been with me being around you more? Like, are you happy with that? Or are you like, I'm ready for her to go home?
I feel like...
Because I'll be wondering, because you just be going up to your room and be in your phone. I'm like, maybe she's tired of me.
No, I'll be tired of you. I feel like, first off, we have different daily schedules where, I'm a night owl, but you are a nocturnal owl.
But I get up early, though.
So that you can operate on less sleep than I can. I need sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I be going upstairs, I be going to sleep. So, no, I feel like we have a good time when we hang out.
Okay.
Yeah, we be having a good time. And, I also think, silent reflection time is beneficial. Why, you want to spend more time with me?
No, I was just making sure, like, I wasn't invading your space and it was annoying you.
Oh, no, because I'd send you home if that was the case. But no, I'll let you know if that was the case.
Okay, last question.
Okay.
How do you feel now that the Seven-Figure Educator clients love me more than you?
They don't.
Oh, okay.
They love us equally.
When you post yourself or you post me, which one gets the most likes?
That is a great question. It depends on the day.
Oh, okay.
And it depends on the content. But they do love you. They do love you.
I love my cousins.
Yeah, any final words for your cousins and the people?
So no, just thank you for having me. This has been a great experience because I don't like to talk a lot. So it's getting me out of my comfort zone. Mm-hmm. And I hope I did well.
You did great.
Thank you.
You did great. And you know what? I just happened to notice it. We didn't even talk about our little matching tattoos.
Oh, we did it.
We didn't. No. So we do have little, I don't know if I can show it to the camera. We have little matching tattoos. But that was, how old is this? Like a
2 or
year?
3 years old?
It's like a year or two ago.
2 years.
Yeah, 2 years. So.
Because this is when we went to New Orleans.
Yeah, we got tattoos in New Orleans.
Okay, calm down. It was just New Orleans. Yeah, for our grandma, for my beautiful. And I forgot. Thank everyone. I want to thank everyone that has checked on me in person, not in person, through your social media about my little hospital stay and my health. I'm better now.
You are.
And very blessed and highly favored.
Mm-hmm.
God had a plan. Lost a couple pounds.
Well, we glad you bounced back, baby.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Well, we hope that this episode was insightful and helpful for you. Let me know in the comments your biggest takeaway. Maybe after this episode, you may or may not be more open to working with family, but maybe you have some more criteria in terms of what it might look like or how you might assess. If you're in the situation where it's state of emergency and you need help and the only people that can help you is your family.
Not too much.
I'm just saying, you have some criteria, but then it didn't just stay there.
But you act like I only hired you because.
No, that's not what I said. First of all, I was trying to wrap up my episode. Okay?
I'm sorry. I'm new to this. I'm going to shut up.
That's not welcome to our relationship. That works. Okay. But what I was saying was that was the door that opened this up. I think that really, because I think about it, if the Airbnb wouldn't have happened, like, would we ever work together? I don't know that there would have been another way for us to be able to figure that out. So that's what I'm presenting to the people is that, when there are those opportunities for a door to open, that, this episode hopefully makes you a little bit more open to considering the possibilities because something on the other side could be really beautiful when you have boundaries, communication, clear understanding, and respect. So let me know in the comments your biggest takeaway. Click the subscribe button to make sure that you're in the loop for the next episode. Hit the share link to be able to share it with your favorite educator, and we will be back here for another episode of the Seven-Figure Educator Podcast. Bye, y'all.